some of it is pre-verbal, right? We might not even have words about the feeling that I feel about myself. I just kind of feel bad. People will say, I feel bad about myself. Hi there, it's Dr. Sire with Therapist Thursdays. Today I want to talk to you about core beliefs and self-esteem and how those are connected to self-doubt. So core beliefs and self-esteem and their connection to self-doubt. So let's start with, well, what are core beliefs? What are they? Core beliefs are impressions or ideas that we have of ourselves, um, that we've kind of always had about ourselves. And no matter how we change or grow, or how life, shows up for us, we kind of still believe those things about ourselves. We believe those things to be true. We could even be disproven, but we still kind of believe those things to be true. And those core beliefs are often formed in our early years. So the first 5 years of life is where we start forming some of those core beliefs. And so some of it is pre-verbal, right? We might not even have words about the feeling that I feel about myself. I just kind of feel bad. People will say, I feel bad about myself because some of that was formed pre-verbally. So an example of a core belief might be something like, just thinking maybe of some of my core beliefs. I'm like, how much do I want to share with you about my core beliefs? Okay, I'll just say it. So some of my core beliefs are that I'm bossy, that I'm too much. I also believe that I'm smart. I believe that I'm ambitious. And I believe that I'm friendly. So core beliefs can be positive. They can also be not so positive. I have a core belief that I'm overweight. Like still, even though I've been not overweight for, almost like 7, 8 years now, I have a belief in my mind that I'm heavy. Um, and there's some unpacking that we have to do around our core beliefs. Core beliefs directly impact our self-esteem. So you could imagine how your self-esteem would look if you believed that you were like very, very obesely, unhealthily heavy, and you weren't okay with that. That you were too much and bossy, and that you had a big personality that people couldn't manage. If that's what you believed about yourself, there's a certain trajectory, and a certain kind of like layout of work, personal growth work that would have to happen to help address some of those core beliefs. Now, on the other hand, those other beliefs, I'm smart, I'm ambitious, I achieve what I put my mind to. So we can have those two things traveling side by side. And it can be really confusing when you're kind of on this growth journey and you're really feeling more of the positive core beliefs. And then these other things just kind of pop up here and there. And it's like, whoa, what's happening? We call that the saboteur, right? The saboteur shows up and says, but remember, you're too much. Remember, people aren't going to like you because you're bossy or whatever it is, right? And so we might start like holding ourselves back. And so part of the work that I've done is actually do a deep dive into what are my core beliefs, and helping my clients understand what are their core beliefs. Because once you can make it conscious, once you can have words for that feeling, then you can actually push back against it. You can actually challenge yourself, right? So on my core belief about I'm too much, so my response to that in my mind is, yes, I may be too much for some people, and those are not my people, right? But I can kind of name it. So when I'm getting kind of an uncomfortable feeling in a group, I'm feeling like, oh, here she is, here's that girl, that's too much. I just remind myself, yeah, I might be too much for some people, and they're not my people. But that self-talk can only happen once you've identified what is it that's popping up here. Do you get it? So there's lots of ways that you can kind of use this information for your own healing and growth. One of the easy ways is just to start making a list of what are things I believe about myself, true or untrue. And it might be interesting to compare those to things that other people say about you, right? Because some of us are like have the blinders on for our positive qualities. We actually don't notice our positive qualities. And some of us have the blinders on for our negative qualities. We don't notice our negative qualities, right? So it's interesting to have kind of a more balanced approach of what are my core beliefs. If we go deeper, see, all of these core beliefs are really about our personality, right? Our human personality. But when we go deeper than that, and this is where true, in my opinion, true self-esteem comes from, is remembering who you really are, right? So I am not a therapist, a teacher, a mother, um, a YouTube person who's on YouTube. No, I'm something way different than that. For me, from a spiritual perspective, I'm a soul, I'm energy, I'm light. And so there's no beliefs about that. That's not good or bad, right or wrong, skinny or fat. That just is. So tuning into the presence of who we are can help really quickly get us out of that headspace of all the thoughts that come around the core beliefs. And then that self-doubt also moves away, because the doubt comes from the ego, right? The self-doubt comes from the part of ourselves that wants to be right, that wants to be in charge, that wants to be in control, doesn't want anything to change, and wants to keep us safe. That's not the spirit, that's not the soul, that's not the essence of who we are as people, right? The essence of who we are is changing, growing, evolving beings that are moving forward in consciousness each generation as we come as humans. So from that perspective, there's no doubt. There cannot be self-doubt, because what would you be doubting? The essence of humanity? Doesn't really make much sense, right? So to go deeper than the core beliefs and self-esteem is well, not deeper than core beliefs, and kind of see self-esteem in a new way, is, can I remember who I really am? Can I hold myself in esteem, myself with a capital S? Hold that in esteem. Even though my personality stuff might be a work in progress, could I remember who I really am? And that might, at least for a moment, move aside some of that self-doubt, or maybe for longer than that. Maybe it can start to dissolve and dissipate altogether. So those are my thoughts about core beliefs, self-esteem, and self-doubt. Feel free to pass this along, like and subscribe. Look around on our channel for other interesting content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.